Hey there, welcome to Take Action Training. Today we are talking about Reels. And in case you haven't met Jessica, she is our expert Reels
Oh my
person for the
goodness.
day. And I'm Julie. And together we're socially inclined. Except
Yes.
for this is definitely Jess's forte, so she's taking the lead today.
Okay, let's back up. The only reason it's my forte is because Julie this is so far out of her wheelhouse to be like face in the camera. What a traditional reel is that we're going to talk about whenever you look at them and like the ones that are trending. That's not really Julie's thing. The only reason I've done some of them is because I have a small kid and I'm a little less timid in front of the camera. But none of that really matters because today we're going to be talking about reels for the shy business owner or reels for the business owner who feels like they are just so far out of their comfort zone that they're never going to get started with it. And today we're going to create a bridge for you to get started with reels, even if the idea of doing a reel as you think of them now is terrifying and frankly a little nauseating. But We're going to talk about some really good options. So
for sure. So this is something I can do. I probably could get on and do the dancey thing, but I would definitely not be comfortable to begin with. But it's the same as, so I don't know, what number is this TAT?
47.
All right, 47. All right, so our first couple of these, whoa, and our, forget what this.
That's my awkward turtle that's paddling backwards, that's swimming forward.
Yes. So our first of these. So the first time you do anything, the first few times, maybe the first 30 times, you're not as comfortable. But I promise the more you do something, the more comfortable you get with it. You almost just have to rip the Band-Aid off and go for it. So there you go.
For sure. That's what we're going to do today. So I love that Kim loves reels. They have made her following grow a ton. And yes, that is how they work, because right now the algorithm in Instagram and Facebook is so heavily slated toward video content, particularly these reels. Dawn mentioned we are too, getting paid to create reels on Facebook, and we haven't done the first one. Ours is more of a busyness thing, but for a lot of you, I know it's because you just don't know where to start.
So, yay, today is the day.
And Jate, she doesn't particularly care for dancing and pointing at words. Yes, I feel that.
I feel it too. So, and then, but the people, so we all know what a reel is, right? If you don't, go to Instagram and you'll see like the classic, what Jate's talking about is, there's a message up here and your point. And if you're just not that dancey-ish person, it's not comfortable to you. But they are gaining so much traction. If you scroll through your feed, you'll see so many of them that are so well done and they look so at ease. So today's option is really, we're going to talk about that just a tad, but today's option is really for the people that don't want to do the point, dance. So Jessica's brought it.
Yeah, I have done a few. I was just looking back at my reels. I have done a few dancing and pointing, and the best one I have is 1,500. My real largest one is 3,500, and of course that involved Olivia. But then we do have a few. One that I created has over 1,300 views, and I did it just in Canva like we're going to talk about today. So 1,300 views, maybe that isn't 9.5 million. But as a small business owner, if you were just to do one of these a week and get over 1,000 views, it is such a good way. And we're going to start officially here in a second, but it is such a good way to get more organic new eyes on your page. And since you've already done all the other Take Action trainings where you've optimized your profile and you've created that wonderful customer journey funnel to your link in bio, which captures your people so that they can warm up to you and go from cold and curious to warm and buying, then a reels strategy is going to really drive that home. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to add that third reel in there, but it's a great way to get more eyes on your platform. Again, because right now Instagram is heavily favoring these.
Exactly.
So, all right, we've kind of already done this. Instagram Reels are here. You're probably feeling the pressure to create something. You're here because you know you want to create something. You need to be creating something. Maybe you've heard us talk about it in the past, how important video content is, but it just feels so scary to you. I'll keep going.
Yeah. Well, I was looking to see, I think we've kind of covered everything here.
We haven't talked about how it plays into TikTok, which the two are extremely related. In fact, Instagram Reels is their answer, Instagram and Facebook's answer to TikTok, because they failed at competing with them with some third party. I think it was called like Lasso or something that was supposed to be similar. It failed miserably and they quietly shut it down. So Reels kind of became that, and it took off really well.
Really well. And it makes sense, which we've seen Facebook do this many, many times. They see, like something that's doing well, Snapchat or whatever, and then they replicate because everyone is already on Facebook. So they're trying to build in more and more and more to keep you there. Obviously, that is the reason to do that. So TikTok, still, they have a huge share. So what you're going to learn today is going to be applicable to TikTok as well. And you're going to be able to share them. So
you get a twofer today. So If you want something on TikTok, you can take everything we're saying about Reels. The interface for TikTok is not that different. It's actually really kind of cloyingly similar for TikTok, and you can cross-pollinate, repurpose, however you want to say, that the content that you create in Reels over to TikTok. So, all right. So Jate said something like this: there is no way I'm about to dance on social media in the name of business growth. I feel it. I even used to be a dancer. Like I said, it was not this kind of dancing though. And the one, you can go watch the reel if you want. The one reel where I'm dancing and pointing that did really well, I will tell you, I felt awkward. And I was really confident about my message and not that unconfident about the way I looked. It's just awkward. But the good news is, like we've already mentioned, teased, and just straight out laid out there, you do not have to perform in these videos in order for you to get traction with Reels.
Yeah. So if Jessica's, the ones where she's live and dancing, whatever, got 1,500, but the ones we're going to show you today that are much more comfortable for you got 1,300, that is a win any day. And then you can work your way up to dancing. We can start practicing.
If you want. All right. So 4 ways that you can use Instagram Reels to get some more traffic.
We've talked about this. We've done TATs about repurposing content. So one of the types of content is educational content. All right. So you can we're going to show you in just a little bit on Canva. So whatever your topic is, I feel like we could beat a dead horse on this topic, is take it and make it an educational point and use it to further get eyeballs and sell without selling.
Exactly. And we're going to roll right through these, but if you need more on content, you can go back to our TATs about social selling and the 80-20 rule and all of that, and it will become very clear to you what this content should look like. So a product review or a case study, again, this is more educational, where you get your products kind of in front of them without it being buy my product. So you can do that in the form of reviews. I'm going to show you how to do a silly one here a little later, but then it can also be like a slideshow of December's top customer feedback for something, for your top product.
Yep. like reviews or whatever. So behind the scenes, those are always, so many people love that behind the scenes look, like the day in the life, especially on Instagram, because, you know, it's touted as it's not real, you know. Sorry for the pun there again, but
it's hard. We use reels so much.
Yep.
That,
so
yep.
People show up in the best of the best of the best on Instagram. And I think that's sort of doing a disservice. I love the authenticity. We talk about that all the time too. So behind the scenes can actually pull some of that out of you. That's how you're going to gain traction in finding your people. People do business with people. So be the person. So behind the scenes shows how you get ready for whatever, how you, package a product, how you make a product, whatever it is. So behind the scenes look at the things that you do will make you more real. Sorry.
More real in your reels. All right. So in this fourth one, this can get so out of scope so fast if you don't keep it reeled in. God, see, sorry. But so reels, the most important thing about it is they're bite size. 30 seconds max. I think you can do a minute. Maybe TikTok is a minute. Somewhere you can do up to a minute. But when I'm talking about your company's story here, it's got to be short. If your about page has 1,200 words on it, then you're going to make 20 reels out of that, because you just can't get all of that information in, and people aren't going to read they're not going to read it like a credit scroll. Like you're going to want to break that information down into small pieces, add some of yourself in, some of like your branding and your personality in there, so that it is more consumable.
There's a question. So reels are getting longer and longer because IGTV has gone away.
Oh, that's
the way that it was. So some people, I'm not going to say that some people have different time lengths, but I know they are lengthening in, and it is a rumor that they are going to get to like 3-minute lengths on reels. So we'll see. I don't know. Anybody can weigh in as to what they've got right now. And we'll know if it's different for different people.
Gotcha. All right. So we're going to run through this real quickly, very quickly. How to create your first reel. This is a simple step-by-step. It is quite intuitive. If you open up your Instagram app, as long as you can get to that plus icon and click reel, then the rest of it kind of can fall into place. So the important thing here is you can record a live video right there. You don't have to upload one per se, but the important feature for us and the way we're going to talk about it today is that you can also upload videos that are already on your phone and create a reel out of them retroactively.
And that's where the magic is going to happen in just a little bit. So right. You're going to get to see some of that. And then so, I was going to say, this is just here for to look back at after you print this out or download it or whatever. So, because Jessica's going to share her screen shortly. So we don't have to go through all of these.
I get to do all of it because Julie doesn't want to, but that's okay.
And it's Jessica's birthday.
Right. This is my present. Yep. So yeah, you can trim any video, and then once you're happy with it, you can hit the forward arrow, and that is where you get to add the stickers and the emojis, the arrows that are animated, anything that is going to add to. You want to be careful about not cluttering up things too much, but add to your message. You can also, of course, add captions and do some cool things on there before you hit the final post button. Once you're happy with it, of course, you can hit done and share your reel. All right. So here's what everyone's probably here for. What the heck? Yes, you can add music too. Sorry, I didn't mention that. What the heck do I say on a reel? And the short answer is absolutely anything you'd say anywhere else. You're just going to say it differently. Julie?
I'm here. I was just
going to let you roll. Supposed to come in.
I know. So I'm just going to let you roll with it.
So I've given you 10 ideas here. we've given you 10 ideas here. These are just starters. So you can read through that list just as easily as I could, but all of these have a very similar feel. And that, Julie fell asleep. And that is social selling. And if you don't know what social selling is, go back to our social selling TAT and you will get a full hour of our antics on that. But it's not, check out this product. This product now only $99. This service, none of it is that. It is all value driven. This is how you do something. This is how you achieve something this year without doing something you don't want to do accidentally. This is how you get rid of something that's undesirable. So in Jatay's, she's a fitness coach on the side. She's got a really awesome proprietary fitness program that she sells. Then it would be like how to get rid of unhealthy habits in 2022 without getting burned out by February.
Yeah, and highlighting what makes hers different. Again, in this, you're kind of carving out what makes you different, how you can really stand out. And that social selling TAT that we did was really good for this because, with the 80-20 rule, you're not supposed to be selling per se. And we do it. Everyone does it where it's just, here's the mock-up of what you're selling or here's the product or whatever. But you're going to get a lot more traction if you can kind of reverse engineer these with what you're selling, but there's selling points to it or kind of outside the box ways to make it desirable for them.
Exactly. And let me go out of my comfort zone and give an example for Mary Alice here at number 5. What is a unique crocheted item and how do I bring it to life? And she could do a 3-point reel on that. And they could be just a simple picture of her process with a little text superimposed on each one. You see how that works?
It could even be how long did it take, and it show, the beginning where there's this much, and then the progress of that. People love to see how it's made of it all. I love that show too, by the way.
Yeah.
How it's made. So people want to, obviously if that show is popular, and it's on TV, then obviously there are people that crave that type of knowledge and would love to see how that works in your products.
Exactly. And if you have a blog, you don't even really necessarily have to do this. If you've been doing things right on your blog, you can take your blog and take each one of the points in each blog and create a reel around that.
For sure. If you we talk about batching all the time. And again, we've done content. This is no different than the content TAT that we did. You're just thinking about it in terms of how can you turn it into, let's just say for the sake of this, a 30-second reel. You may have longer, but how can you get 30 seconds out of it and make a difference for someone? So take the work you did on the content themes and on the coming up with content, and then dig back into it and let's repurpose it for reels.
Exactly. So Savita, she's in a little different niche. Everyone knows fitness is easy for me. Makeup and skincare is kind of easy for me because I've been making that content for so long. But finance, that first one, how to, the snowball versus avalanche method of getting out of debt. That would be so useful to someone who is feeling socked in to crippling debt and they're trying to escape checking out reels, and then, there's this woman here presenting fun, easy to consume information on a product that I have.
Exactly. A little further on that. So many people, if they don't feel like they can tackle it, if they can't see the end result or feel like they can do it, they won't start. That's me. So I just, back out. So giving small wins, like there has to be the win for them to come back and do it again. So I think that's where you're going to shine, Savita, is if you can give them one small task to do and then they can complete it. Same with anything. That's the whole thing. That's the whole point of our take action here too. So for you to complete the task, get the win, and come back. And look how many of you do. come join us every single week. So Reels is no different, just a very smaller scale.
Okay, so if you were looking at those and you already started to get a lump in your throat, thinking about how you were going to convey that information on camera, talking about it, et cetera, a couple months ago, kind of out of desperation, I stumbled upon how to essentially create a reel that keeps the eye and keeps the attention without you having to be front and center on it. And there are sometimes, I mean, you can check out my Instagram and see that like I like to be on video sometimes, because sometimes, you know, I'm feeling like it. I like the way I look. I had someone was able to watch Olivia long enough for me to, you know, get myself together, and I just was feeling confident that day. But this day when Julie was like, we need to post a reel, I was not in that space. So what I came up with was I found tips, or it was a tip at that time that I posted. And this one actually got 1,333 views, which was pretty good considering some of the ones that I do face-to-face would be in the 500 to 800s. But that 1,333, that could have brought 30 to 300 new interested clients who are going to purchase from us down the road. So definitely don't look at those numbers and think, oh, I only had 300. Well, that's probably 250 organic people who have never seen you before. And that is absolutely invaluable. So what I did that day that I'm going to kind of share with you guys today is the strategy for when you don't feel like you want to be front and center, is to take a static tips post, or you can search in Canva. And I'm going to show you how to do all this in just a second. Or a list or an infographic or something. And then you customize that design. You can adjust it to your brand. But what you're going to do is you're going to duplicate the page and back off the tips from top to bottom so that they flow as a video that adds a tip. And that just kind of creates the interest. Like they start seeing it and they know that there's supposed to be more there. So they keep watching it. Just like they would if you were sitting there face on camera and you had the captions coming across the screen. All of that cues a viewer to watch a little longer. Right? Julie.
I'm still here. What? There's nothing I can add to that. That was awesome. So
yeah. So
well, I will say you can like use Pinterest, use your blogs. We already talked about that, but you can also get some ideas from Pinterest, even though it's not Reels, but look for infographics that are there because it'll break things down and that will help you to kind of create this specific type of content. So we do that, you know, in other areas, even for blog topics or whatever. So
exactly.
I think that will help.
The great thing about it is you can design this on your laptop and you can download it once it's perfected right to your phone and upload it just like a video that you snapped of your kid running around with a laundry basket. So while Julie talks, I am going to share my screen and I will show you. I have not practiced these a whole lot, but I'm going to try to do a few that I haven't done. Like I'm going to search for a tip, I'm going to find it, and I'm going to try and customize a few for you and show you how I bring them to life.
Yep. And we wanted to sort of kind of get through to this so that way we have time to do the showing. So, and there's no secret. We're going to do this in Canva. If you have the free version, you are still good. If you have Pro, you got a few more resources. But one of the things that we like to design on desktop, and then you can open it up in your phone and download it. You can certainly design them on your phone, but the user experience is much better on the desktop. I have to, in a pinch, we do, you know, rolling things where it's like a customer will call, hey, can you do a graphic? And if I'm not at my computer, I'll have to do one on the phone. It's totally doable, but I would urge you to try from the desktop and then just open it up in your phone to download it. Otherwise, you'd have to email it to yourself. That's another little trick that Jessica's probably not going to show here besides just getting to your phone and downloading it. But if you do it on your computer, you can email it as long as it's under 25 Meg.
Seriously, y'all, it's just get the Canva app on your phone. It's so easy. I'm going to show you how to do it, and it takes seconds over that having to email it. So for any of you who aren't familiar, this is when you log into Canva, and I've already gone to templates. You can also just go to home if you want, but I've typed in here tips. I'm eyeballing this one. I haven't seen this one before, but I love the way it looks like Google, and I'm thinking about how I could animate that and make it look really pretty. But we'll come back to that. So you can also look at infographics. And these are just most for
people, I want to say too, most people will pull up and open it as a Reels or as a story or whatever. They'll search it that way. But this is for inspiration. This is for like something you can resize anything. So if any of those tips that you saw, they could totally be resized to the appropriate reel size. You can start from there is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
Not so well.
And that's what I'm going to do. So I will advise infographics is not where I'd start because there's a lot more content in these. I could pull one together, but I feel like it would be very overwhelming for those of you who are just starting.
Yeah, that sensory organs type one would have worked, but it's more for you to get headline type ideas for content.
Exactly. And I am give me a little grace because I'm seriously going to start with this one and I'm making this on the fly. I have not practiced with this one, but I really like this and I think it can be really versatile for anybody here because it's got this like Google feel to it. So watch how I do this. It's probably not as earth shattering, but I was so happy to have this shortcut that day when I just could not get on the
And I would say
train.
that it is going to be earth shattering for most people here because most people just do not have the design experience. They're trying to cobble it together with Canva, which is why Canva is so great. Back in the dino days, we only had Photoshop or Corel Draw or Corel Paint, whatever. Whew. So Canva, if you are not on the Canva train, you need to be.
Exactly. All right. So give me a niche because this one is tips for improving your mental health. That could probably fly for just about any niche as far as like, being value added, right? Mm-hmm. But we can adjust these to really say anything. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to resize this single image to an Instagram story. And the reason you want to do that here is because you don't want to have to resize 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different slides. And it's taking a while for this to happen because we're live.
Yep. Sorry. This is resource heavy when we're on.
Because Julie's going to talk.
The webinar. So again, what Jessica said.
So for those of you who... Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. So just so you'll understand what's happening here, you're
That's
going
okay.
ahead
Let's have a delay.
And getting the size appropriate, and then you're going to make it work. Otherwise, you have to do it multiple times. So we're going to see it pop into size. It's not going to look quite right. Hopefully, I don't have a terrible delay as I'm talking.
Yeah.
All right. So it's trying.
This is taking forever. I was hoping it would be faster than this.
I know. We might need to
So to put it into perspective, I would probably almost be done with this by now if this delay wasn't quite so bad.
Yep. We might need to look at pre-recording these next time. This doing part. And don't, for the sake of this, let's not change the tips. Let's leave them.
This is bad. Can't see where.
Is there anything else you can close?
Okay. I understood you. All right, here we go. So what I was going to do, you saw I tried to resize it and then it was just way too skinny for the content. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to grab all of this and I'm going to make it smaller. Didn't grab those. Of course not.
Oh, that must be a background image.
It's fine. We can mess with it.
And for anybody that didn't see what that was, that happens a lot of times when you're working in Canva. An image snaps to the background and you don't necessarily want it snapping to the background. You don't have to delete it and re-add it. You can right-click, detach image from background. That's like one of those ahas. Because we need
exactly. Now, it would have been better if that had been a graphic, which they usually are. I should have picked one to practice with.
Yep. And so I was going to say too, so when this happens, when it's not the right size, you actually can make your background be that pink color. So that way it will match and look like the whole thing is uniform.
That's what I'm going to go for here in just a sec.
There you go. It seems to be running a little faster, so yay to that.
Yeah, now it's going to load in all these templates though. But that's okay. We're here. All right. So as I mentioned, you can take just about any of these tip posts. Let me go ahead and make this background match. It'll probably give me the color here. Yep. Oh, it's close. I can grab a better color.
Yep. So in case you don't know that little trick on the left, the image will pull out, it'll pull out the colors that are in that image. So obviously it didn't match exactly, but if there's a Chrome extension called Color Picker that gives you actually look, there's one right there too. Jess, did you see it? Now in Canva, that has not always been there. To the right of your...
Oh, yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Pick a color from the design. Nice. So I didn't even have to do that.
Right. Awesome. But now it matches.
All right.
So now you know 2 ways.
So I'm going to just leave this at really, really great sight. Okay.
Sure.
So now you want to think about what's going to be filling into the image. So you're going to have this tips to improve mental health, and then you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we want to do is duplicate this. 5 to, oh, not a blank. Come on. Acting like a noob here. Okay. And essentially what I'm doing is making an animated video. For anyone who still feels like it's a mystery, that's what we're doing.
Yep. So you'll be able to reuse what you're going to learn right this second to make not just reels, but also regular posts,
stories. If you can get them quotes short enough.
Yep. It's so easy if you just don't until you see it. And then you're like, oh my gosh. Or it's not easy until you see it.
All right. So for those of you who want to be caught up, what I just did was this is the first slide. I took out all of my tips, and the star of this little video part is going to be sharing what the tips are. So all I'm going to do is animate that, and I tend to like typewriter because it types in there.
Yep.
Like a typewriter. And then you go to your next one, and this is where one tip is going to reveal. So you want to delete everything except for one tip. And then you're going to animate this. And maybe you want to get fancy and you want your tips to pan in, or maybe they'll bounce in, or maybe you want to stay consistent and you just let them typewriter in the way the title did.
With the
So that's
typewriter
all
in.
I did is I applied the animation, and you go to the next one.
And with the typewriter in,
Yeah.
you might have to, depending on how many sections you have, it might make it too long. So you might have to try something else. So it depends on how many seconds.
Oh, well, you can also make it shorter, which I'm going to
Okay.
show how to do. This can be so fast, though, I promise, when you're not trying to.
Yeah, even with the lag, I
screen
think they
share.
understand how, that there's got to be a bunch of aha moments going on. Oh, I scrolled up, so I can't see. Cheryl asks, best to stick with one animation. That's what's recommended on an old-fashioned website production. I think if it was all of the 5 tips that are there, I would want those all to be the same. So, I would say that as the question comes in, you can think about the person that's typing the question. For this particular graphic, when Google renders, it's not necessarily typed. It could pan in, it can, zoom in, whatever. But I would keep those 5 the same. I wouldn't say that the whole thing had to be.
If it's too long, you can just go up to the top and you have to click the slide itself, and you'll see this little timing. And I've edited this to 4, and I'm going to apply it to all 6 pages. So instead of 5 seconds, it's 4 seconds, which is going to make this a 24-second long video, which is great if I want to come in here and do something like maybe you want to do. I'm kind of giving away what happens when you upload it, but maybe you want to duplicate this last slide to give you an extra few seconds to put like a funny dancing sticker here natively in Reels. Or maybe you want to like really drive home your brand, and you can put a picture of yourself. Maybe this won't take too much more bandwidth because I really want to how I would upload this and then show you guys some fun reels. Come on. All right.
Poor Jessica's computer. You're fading in and out, but we understand what you're saying. So another option that you can do here is have your logo fade in at the end, or your call to action.
Right.
That'll make it look really polished. And it's really easy. Mary Alice says, I'm having Microsoft PowerPoint flashbacks. Same type of thing here. Yep. And if you've never used, let's say you're a course creator or something like that, or you need to make slides, Canva is awesome for that too. So it can be your new PowerPoint.
So you could put a picture of yourself down in the bottom.
Yep. And this is the way to be the face
and
of your
use
business
the background remover
without being live on camera.
Exactly. So I would just pull this up to the center, and then background remover, edit image, and background remover is only a pro feature, but Canva is very affordable. So hopefully most of you will have that option. Goodness me, this is probably going to take forever.
And for anybody here that hasn't been to Canva school, if you don't have background remover or any of the functions show up here, there's a lot of filters and things like that. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, it'll tell you what's available that you can load into your Canva. We need to have a full
I'm just going to forget that page 7 because I want to go. I want to go on with this. So
yeah,
let's take a little look.
But you get the idea. You could drop out the background and you could have yourself reveal. You could have a logo there. You can have a call to action there, but you also can do it in, do something natively in Instagram. But Jessica's showing and it looks so awesome.
Yeah, and it's the movement that tells people that it's not a static image and that they need to keep watching. And maybe for you, it's better to use a different animation. But for the sake, like you saw how many animation options there were. So you play with that in your brand.
Right. There's
Let me
no
make
right
sure my
or
smart
wrong.
mirroring is still working.
Yep. So Jessica's going to show her phone now.
You're like relying heavy on me over here.
That's right. I've had to do it in the past, but you're doing a fine job.
Thank you. All right. Can everybody see this?
We can.
Are we there? All right. Well, good. Because now I'm going to go off of Instagram and I'm going to head over to my handy dandy Canva app.
So Savita asked about adding music. You're going to want to add music in the Instagram app. Oh, let's see. Lauren is sharing. Awesome. The color picker extension for Chrome. Thank you. I didn't realize you were here today, Lauren. Thanks so much. And Debbie with a Y is here, of course.
Well, it looks like I've got to refresh my Canva because it's not getting my latest.
She is totally doing one of these today.
Nice.
Yeah, it just, it's just an outside the box way of, getting started with these. They're so, I better let you say what you're doing here. Oh, she's just opening the Canva app on her phone so that she can download it.
Exactly. And I had to restart it. I had to close the Canva app and reopen it so that it refreshed. And now you can see this design that I just created on my desktop right here on my phone.
Yeah.
So
and while you're doing that really quick, I just want to say too, the eyedropper, you can see up in the top of Jessica's browser, that is one that works for anywhere. All right. Evidently it's a new feature because it hasn't been in Canva for long. There is one inside Canva as well. Why would you need both? If you are picking a color from anywhere else on the internet, you can use that color picker. If you are not, you still could use the one in Canva by doing a screen share and grabbing the image and bringing it into Canva. Now that it's there, hasn't been there.
So for those of you who might not have caught what just happened, I hit the shortcut download button and it gave me 6 beautiful images instead of an MP4, which is what you need to have a reel. Obviously you want a video, not 6 images, although you probably could animate them in reels. It just is a little harder.
Oh yeah, I would definitely shortcut.
So I think I got it. Let me see.
So download as an MP4 when you're downloading out of Canva.
All right. Come on now. I've done this once. The tech of it all.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Jessica didn't even mind showing all the pictures in her camera roll. I have horror stories of commandeering a customer's phone to get something moved over and be like, okay.
All right, I think I got it now, everybody. Ta-da! Beautiful 24-second video right on my camera roll. So now I'll go to the Instagram app.
And you just downloaded it straight to your computer, and now you're going to just access it.
Phone.
I'm sorry, phone. Correct. Now you're just going to access it.
So if I was feeling like being on camera, I would just leave it right here. But I'm going to upload that video I just made to show you guys.
Yeah, and if we just saw a picture of your Instagram, so people might be asking, how did you get that very cool light bulb with the word grow up there? Those are highlights. We covered that in the Instagram training that we did earlier in the TATs. So it's just a very cool hack. When it if it switches back to it, y'all be sure to look. It's just a way to kind of capture attention.
All right, so I opened up Reels. As the step-by-step mentions, you hit the plus sign up in the top right-hand corner and you select Reels from your option. And in the bottom left-hand corner, you can upload any video on your camera roll. So I selected, obviously, this one, and you see how it's typing in. It's like a real video. So now the next step is to add it, and that tells Instagram that you want to add this to the reel design that you're creating. And for our intents and purposes today, that's it. You're going to go on to the next stage and add stickers or whatever it is. But you could always add, it comes back to your face, as you're about to see when this finishes playing. You'll be able to add anything else that you want to it if you wanted to add like a little blurb of text. Ooh, this is about, just to tell you, like the delay is about 25 seconds on what you guys are seeing versus what I'm doing.
So Maxine, I just answered in text because you were talking, but Maxine asked, how often do you suggest doing a reel? My answer is set a goal and stick to it. Consistency is king or queen. Content's king. Consistency's queen. But
exactly.
At minimum one a week. If you're going to do it, minimum one a week, but I would try to do one a day if at all possible. They are the fastest way to grow on Instagram right now. They are getting so much traction that if you get the win of doing some and seeing the stats, then you're going to want to do more just because they are working so well.
So now the option, if you're looking at the screen, I opened the stickers section and I searched in gifts encouragement, because that kind of goes with the theme of what this post is. And this adds just a little extra of like, oh yeah, she created a reel. So you can just select one. Obviously there's a lot of them. If you don't like what came up with encouragement, you could also, and maybe this is 5 tips and you want someone to check out the link in bio and get your free 7-day challenge. So in which case you could search up their link in bio and you could add that. So, and maybe you put a little, I'm going to let it catch up because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing here. That would make it, this would be really good for, maybe Deanne, who is trying to help people with mindset. And she's sharing these tips. So that's the sticker that I picked. And then you don't want this going the whole time because you don't want it sitting there distracting. So this is what a lot of people don't know. This bottom left-hand corner lets you denote how long this little sticker is going to show up and what part of the video it shows up. I'm waiting to see when that slider pops up for you guys.
We're patiently waiting.
I know, this is so slow. But anyway, you click that small bubble down there, and that basically gives you autonomy over that piece of your reel.
So Cheryl asked a question really quick. To be clear, link in bio is part of Instagram, not LinkedIn bio, correct? Okay, so we even had a whole TAT class on link in bio. In Instagram, links do not work in posts in text at all. Links do not work. The only place you can have a link is the website link that shows. That is what your link in bio is. So you have to get creative there, or either have to change it every time. So I would go back and watch that link in bio training, because we get so many from ours, and I can track what's coming in from the link in bio. And that's the only, I better hush in case Jessica needs to tell this time thing here.
No, that's okay. So I've already done it. I'm just watching it show up on the screen. Basically what I did there is I took this great tips post and I gave it a call to action. So in the last 3 seconds of this reel, that free 7-day mindset retreat and the link in bio bubble is going to pop up. And that's going to spur people who watched your reel to say, oh yeah, you know what? I could use a 7-day mindset retreat. And she's saying it's free. Let me check out her link in bio. And then they go to the link in bio. And because you've done all of that beautiful work from previous TATs, there's a button there that says free 7-day mindset retreat, and they can click on it, sign up, they're on your email list, and you have control over where they go from there. So I'm happy with this. The timing's done. So I'm going to hit done. And that gives you a chance to review it. And then I'm going to hit next. And that brings you to kind of the final wrap-up screen for your reel. And I'm waiting on this to come through because we're running low on time, and I wanted to show you a silly thing, but we may not have time. So I may just have to make that a video. I might make it a reel that I put in the group.
Or you can make a video that gets put into TAT as a bonus video.
Exactly. Because it was a good one, and it was going to show you how to spice up some reviews and get people to watch them. And it cracked me up talking to Julie about doing it. So
we were practicing.
I'm a little bummed that we're running out of time. So here we are, final screen, cover. And if we didn't have to be done, we wouldn't be, but I have a hard stop at 12 o'clock. So what you want is, what I'm picking now is what people will see as a preview. And I like, unless there's just a highlight point, I kind of like to go halfway so that people know content's going to come in. So what I did there is I selected the cover and the top, and it gave me the option to pick what the cover looks like. You also have the option to crop the profile image, which allows you to pick what of this reel shows in the square that's going to be in your feed, which is important if you've got one where the main important content is on the bottom. So crop profile image, that's the second row down. You click that, and as you can see, you can pick the top or the bottom. This one's intuitive. Like I didn't have to crop this one, but most of them I do crop just to keep control over what people see. You have the option tag, rename the audio. And then, of course, the Facebook cross promoting is there too. Now, your caption, I'm not posting this one because this was all for demo purposes. But in that caption, you want to keep it kind of short and sweet because reading captions isn't really a huge thing for Reels unless you've gone viral and you've put important information up there. But I'd say to start, you just want to keep it value added, not too salesy, and then put 10 hashtags in there that are pertinent to what you're doing. Julie, anything to add?
I was answering Sharice's question. So I'll wait until we make sure that this is done. So, but from here.
Well, that's it. From here, you just share.
You just share, and you have an amazing reel that will get tons of traction. Sorry about the sort of delay, start and stop on the video. Sharice did get her internet had a lag or a problem. Anyway, so she was asking about how to animate the text in Canva, which you're showing right now. Whoops, you were. So
sorry,
all you do
I'm back now. I was going to turn.
Yep.
Sorry,
all you do is you select the text, and then you click the animate button that's in the top pan left. And you're going to animate it. So we chose typewriter.
You're killing me. Sorry.
It's all right. So, I mean, I think, these, we do have I can't remember if you have the replays or not. Here. This is in our TAT. Debbie can drop the link too. But basically, all you're going to do is select each of those. Each one of the text is on a new slide, and then you select the text on that slide, and you click the little word animate. You just have to make sure that your animation is not going to run over 30 seconds if all you have is 30 seconds for your reel. Lisa says, how can I look at my reel?
And I just wanted to... Oh, great question.
Yeah. I don't know if you can.
I can't show it anymore because I closed it in hopes of
Yeah,
in
to
hopes of
make
running
it run faster, right?
But you can see it across. If you go to your profile, you just click the Reels icon and it will show you your Reels.
So you're going to click your own profile.
So yep.
And then in the middle, let's see if we can just at least do it like this. So I'm on my profile, and then this middle, the little Reels thing.
Must be pretty.
And it will show. And there's one I was playing with last night where that profile cropness would have been good because I was really wanting to show Academy, which is at the bottom.
All right, I'm just going to stop trying to show. But what I was wanting to show everybody was one that I did yesterday in under 5 minutes. And it's not because I'm like super fast or anything. I have practiced, and in the resource I did mention there, it's going to be slow the first few times you do it, the first few times you design, the first few times you actually upload it into Instagram. It's going to feel very slow and awkward, but practice makes perfect. So you do want to practice some of these. But the one that I did yesterday, I was going to try and show you the template that I started with and how quickly I was able to bring that to life, but it's just taken too long. So
yeah. And Kim asked, can we do the funny review one on Thursday? I said, so
yeah,
I'm typing, yes,
absolutely.
Come join us. That's a perfect thing for office hours on Thursday.
And it will probably be our last office hours before Christmas, so we can be silly.
Yep.
Silly willy.
Yep. Debbie dropped the PDF, step-by-step instructions again. 11 a.m. Eastern, Kim, same time as Tuesdays. So that's 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, 8 Pacific. We have people every single week that message in about missing because of time zones. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. So we try to clarify. We just put Eastern time zone now, and then you got to do your configuration. So, but all right. So the challenge is, this is take action. We're at 11 o'clock, hard stop. So do 1 Reels, come see us on Thursday so we can show off your hard work. You don't have to be.
That's such a great thing, because you can actually make a share link to where we can watch it. So you can share the link in the chat and we'll watch it and give you feedback if you want. Yeah, no pressure. But if you want
you don't have to share it with us, if you, but you do need to go do one. So you cannot get traction if you don't do it. You don't have to be the face of it. Just go make a tips one. Just do one between now and then and come see us.
Oh my goodness. That was such great feedback, Cheryl. Thank you so much. We're so glad you made it.
Oh, Cheryl, that's awesome. And sorry about the technical ishness.
Yeah. Seriously, if we did not have that lag, I could have shown you how to do 4 or 5 of them in that same amount of time. So I do apologize. We weren't expecting the lag to be quite that terrible, but since we're doing the iPhone mirroring and the screen sharing, and Canva, of course, is a horse. Yeah. So it just slowed everything down.
Cheryl says it made it real.
Made it real.
Yep. Really, real. So, perfect. All right. Happy birthday, Jessica.
Oh, thank you.
She will be in and out of the group maybe today, but not in person, not live. But so tell her happy birthday in the group.
Julie and I have to finish up videos for 12 Days of Christmas.
We do. If you missed 12 Days of Christmas yesterday, we released Academy. It's only $15 a month. Lots of goodies in there every single month. Lots to drop at the very first. So go check it out. And go look in the group to see what today's is. We're not going to tell you. Deanne joined. Sarah joined. I forgot who else in here has joined, but I know those two. So thank y'all.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, everybody. We will see you Thursday
All
for
right.
office hours and for more demos on Reels.
Right. Bye.
Bye.